everyone, Sentient here, and I am happy to announce the launch of my website. The official launch day is going to be December 16th, so go check it out. It's going to be called sentientkind.com. On the website, there's going to be a link to my blogs, which I love to write about different topics, some being the introduction of like the origin of tarot, which is really going to be an interesting one, so go check it out. And I'm also going to have a link to my Etsy where I will be doing personal readings for a very low cost, like $2, $5, yeah. That's all to help support this channel, and so I can keep just upgrading and trying to make it better content and continue to create videos for you guys. And I'm also going to have like a little page where I'm going to try and keep things up to date what I'm doing now, and also just a fun little bio on there to see kind of like how I got here, where am I from, where did I come from. So yeah, it's all going to be really exciting things, so remember to check it out, December 16th. So excited for the upcoming date, and yeah, I hope to see you guys there on my site.
Hello everyone, and welcome to our holiday survival tarot spread. I originally was going to have Mr. Charlie Brown here on and moving around for some holiday fun, but of course the no sound portion is broken, so it would be like singing a bunch of Christmas carols the whole time, which we love the Christmas spirit, but that would be a little distracting. And yeah, I'm sure some of that is definitely patented, especially the Charlie Brown Christmas theme song. But I hope this is like a reminder to everyone that Charlie Brown Christmas exists. And it's a classic, so go watch it if you haven't seen it, and if you have, watch it again. Or if you don't want to, you didn't like it as a child, I understand, it's not for everybody. But you can't talk about Mickey Mouse Christmas Carol, okay? That's the best one. I'll just show you up close. It did get beaten up a little bit, but it was a gift that was given to me years ago, and yeah, it's a classic. It even has a little Christmas tree. So we have 3 piles here today, and holiday survival is all about us versus society versus, with ego, and just dealing with family. Since we're all coming together, I know we all have like a wide array of family, so this is all about just how to get through the holidays and handle our little situations in life. So for pile 1, we have Santa Claus, ho ho ho, and we have Cactus Quartz Cluster. For pile 2, we have the Grinch 2020 Stink Stank Stunk. He was over the COVID of 2020. And we have the Mount Shasta Opal. And for pile 3, we have Mrs. Claus. She has beautiful eyelashes. Slay. And we have blue calcite. So go ahead and take a moment to choose your pile based off of the figurine, crystal, or both together. And click the timestamps below, and we will see you at your reading. Alright, pile 1, if you chose Santa Claus and the Cactus Quartz Cluster, then we're going to go ahead and do your reading. You're at the correct pile. Today we will be using the classic Rider-Waite. Believe it or not, I was debating over different decks, but the pendulum had spoken. It was like Rider-Waite, and I was like, okay. Alright, so for the spread, we're going to look at your family versus your boundaries. So what's going on with pile 1's family? what's going on with pile 1's boundaries? Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm hitting everything. Let me make sure I didn't mess up. Okay. And we're gonna look up the balance between the two. It's the balance between the two for pile 1. Balance between the two for pile 1. Alright, so it seems like there could be a lot of miscommunication within your family. I just see a lot of different ideas, like you possibly have a lot of opposing, I want to say like kind of like beliefs. It could be like political, religious, just general way of living, being, you know, like any of the smallest little things. Could even be, you know, what you choose to do for your life or like for career or whatever. Like it just seems like there's a lot of rifts and communication there, and that you feel like you have to fight for your stand so you can be heard, but nobody really listens. For your boundaries, we do have kind of like the idea that like you're trying to reveal to your family how you really feel and why you have the beliefs that you do and that you are structured the way that you are, and it just seems like they don't want to hear it. They don't want to know what you have to say inside. Either that or you don't want to rock the boat. You might be feeling uncomfortable about opening up about this. And so it's just causing like a lot of mystery within that. It's like your family doesn't know truly how you feel or what you think. They can have an idea, but I feel like if you ever did reveal it, it would be a huge surprise to them. Like they wouldn't know like how deeply they were hurting you. And so I think a part of them you might be surprised if you told them, because you would surprise them, but I do see like a lot of uncomfortable energy here. So the balance in between, which is interesting that we have the Fool and the King of Cups, but it's in reverse. Alright, so I mean, I think you are being encouraged to, like, if you feel the need to speak up, then do so, because I feel like you are. But I think that if you do, you need to be careful, okay? So when you do speak up, I think it should be in a very respectful manner. And even if they kind of have a reaction back, be aware of that reaction. Don't react back, because it'll just keep adding, fumes to the flame. So I think it's just like allow yourself to express yourself fully, but do it in a way that is gentle and understanding to them, and just being kind, but still at the same time revealing how you feel and how things are affecting you, and what what you would want your boundaries to be. So don't think of your boundaries as a burden, but rather than think of this as like, you deserve to be respected just as much as they deserve to be respected. So I think it is important to speak your mind if you feel so. The fact that the King of Cups is in reverse is also a good indicator that this is a temporary issue. It's not going to be an issue forever and ongoing. So I truly do believe that if you are able to at least lay it out there, it may not be resolved over this conversation, but it will have a good start to it going in that direction. Just having that awareness of it. Alright, so I'm going to pull one additional advice oracle for this particular topic. What does pile 1 need to know for their advice for their family situation? Alright, so we have your life plan is unfolding as it should. Okay. So just trusting within the situation. Be calm and keep going. Okay. Be calm through it. Do not be reactive. And the first step is taking. You have asked for help. Okay. So just, again, voicing anything of how you feel is the first step. Don't have to feel like you're a burden or uncomfortable about it. As long as you do bring it up in a kind way, I think that the other person is going to be less reactive as a result. Of course, we can't control it, and they can still be reactive, but it does take it down quite a bit. So now we're going to take a look, pull a card for my society. Okay. My personality for pile 1. And balance between the two for pile 1. What's the balance between the two for pile 1? So it may feel like pile 1 that life itself is a emotional journey, and I think people in society are also that way, but they're good at hiding it. So pile 1, I think that you are great at really radiating love and peace, creation, imagination. I think you're this radiant sunshine that really does allow people to see right through you. And when you're interacting with other people, may feel like their sun isn't as bright. It feels like maybe they feel more closed off, and like they don't want to reveal much about themselves in the emotional sense. They're not as vulnerable as you. I feel like you're so in your power with your vulnerability. It's not like vulnerable in a weak way. It's vulnerable in a like you know who you are and you're confident in it. And so I feel like, at least with society here, it just feels like there's a disconnect there because they're not necessarily revealing it. But the cards are letting you know that even though they're not, it's still there. They, in fact, do have just as much feelings. And, I mean, obviously, we all have them. But even when you feel like someone doesn't care about a situation because they're not as revealing of their true emotional reaction to it, it doesn't mean it's not there. It's there. They're just keeping it inside of them. And for the middle ground here, we have the Two of Wands. So I think it's just continuing. You're being encouraged to just continue being your shining bright light. And I think what that's going to allow for is other people to become more comfortable around you and feel more comfortable opening up. And even if it feels uncomfortable, like they're not opening up, do your best to make them feel accepted and kind of like let them know that you want them to be a part of your life. Let them know that they're safe with you. And that could even be doing, planning like, okay, we can plan the next time we'll see each other, or, invite them out to things that you're going out to do, or, just slowly allowing them to be like that, opening up that closed, locked book that they have is going to help balance that out and make the situation just more comfortable on their side, and then it'll even make you even more comfortable, because I feel like you're so good at expressing yourself even when you are uncomfortable. It doesn't seem like you're as comfortable with your family doing that, maybe because it's more personal and close in your life, but it does seem like in general with society itself, when you're interacting maybe with coworkers or friends, that you are more in that energy. And so I think it's awesome that you have that energy, and it should be shown more. Even with your family, it should be shown. So I think if they honestly knew that was a part of who you are, that was your energy, I think they would be more encouraging with what you have going on for your life here. Now I'm going to go and pull an oracle for this advice oracle for society versus you. Give some advice for pile 1. Okay, so we have expand. You're being asked to expand. You live in a huge world with endless possibilities, and staying safe in the known is no longer working for you. It's time to make your world just a little bit bigger. It's time to imagine the possibilities and go for them. So yes, you're being encouraged to go out of your comfort zone, to continue to just express who you are, and even if someone else is closed off, just continue doing you. And I think naturally people will gravitate towards you and feel more comfortable opening up. And you know, I think people have been burned a little bit too much in our societal world that we're in, and I think it just causes a lot of closed off hearts, unfortunately. I have one more advice card. Okay. We also have protect. You're being asked to protect yourself and your energy. It's okay to want to give to others, which you do effortlessly. It's important, though, that you set healthy boundaries with your energy before doing so. Now it's time to get some protection in place. Okay. I don't know, part of me just feels like that is with your family. You're being asked to set down those boundaries. But of course, with people in general, it's good to have those boundaries as well. Alright, and then next we're going to do my materialism. So what's pile 1's materialism? This is getting real personal here. It's pile 1's materialism. We literally got the Page of Pentacles. Alright. So next we're going to look at your spirit. So what is pile 1's spirit? Wow. The Knight of Pentacles. Alright. And what is the balance between the two? Oh man. Okay. The Lovers. Nice. So it does feel like you have a lot of ideas for things that you want to do to help create money. I think you like to spring on to new opportunities that come your way. You're not shy or afraid to try new things out in as many avenues as you can. And I feel like you're good at putting your money in many different places to try to expand it. You don't just rely on one basket. For your spirit, it does feel like you are kind of, even though you want to do all these different things, you might take your time doing it, or you might push them off. But you know, as they say, slow and steady wins the race. I don't think that you are rushing into anything that you shouldn't be. I think you are good at making wise decisions, and you're good at listening to yourself for what is meant and best for you. That's why I believe we have the Lovers in the middle here. I think it's important that you do whatever you do for creation, which naturally comes with abundance with it too, is to just have that balance and to make sure that you love what you're doing and that you're able to behold what you're doing as if it's something that you, like another person you're in love with at this point. It's like, you know, you're able to see the other and love it. And I think that's what it should be with what you do, and for like creations and what you do to make money. It shouldn't just be empty. And I think for you to find true peacefulness and happiness within that boundary, or within that realm, I guess we would say, is truly to being able to look at it as if you're in love with it, as if you want it to be a part of your life. And so I think all these ideas are great to explore, because you don't know until you start doing them, and that's when you know whether or not you truly do love it or not. And then we're going to get one last card for advice. Can I have an advice card for pile 1 regards to their financial life, I guess, or regards to their spirit? Alright. So we have acceptance is the key to inner peace. At times you must accept things as they are. There's no point in trying to change that which is beyond our control. So try to have, I guess it is having acceptance as well for your current situation as you're trying to figure out the different avenues that you want to be a part of. But I think, honestly, I'm getting the feeling that for when it comes to career and finances, you're already on top of it. You're already on the right path. You're doing the right thing. Same for the society and you. I think the only thing that needs a little bit of work and healing is your family life and the way you're interacting with them. I feel like you're hiding a lot of yourself from them, and you're just really being encouraged to be able to feel free to express yourself as you do with others and set your boundaries, because I feel like you are worth having a well-rounded and balanced life all the way around, where it's just truly pure love that you're surrounded by. And sometimes it's hard with family if they're so different from us, but yet we usually keep them as a part of our lives. We don't have to, but we are, they're the people we know, they're the people we grew up with. And so it's kind of like, if we have them in our lives, we have to accept them for who they are, but they should be allowing to do the same for us. And so with that comes boundaries and honesty. We shouldn't have to feel like we have to hide from them, especially if we're no longer living with them, or like we don't owe anything to them. Then they really should. I know the situation is more difficult if you live with them. There's certain parts that you really don't want to express, but if it's a deep boundary and something that is truly bothering you and truly unsettling to you, I think that you should you are being encouraged to talk about it with them from a well I guess level-headed standpoint, and just speaking with kindness and respect. And I think that will just add another layer of love and direction in your life, okay? And those are all the messages that I have for you, Pile 1. I hope you're enjoying the holiday season so far. And stay sentient, stay kind. Please like and subscribe to support the channel. Bye. Hello, Pile 2. If you chose the Grinch So Christmas and the Opal from Mount Shasta, then this is going to be your pile. So we're first going to take a look at what's going on with your family. So what's going on with Pile 2's family? What's going on with Pile? Okay. Alright, and we're going to do you. What's going on, Pile 2? Oops, sorry. And what is a balance, a middle ground for these two? What's a good balance for Pile 2? It's literally a balancing card. Alright, so there's a lot of meanings of what death could be. I mean, it could be you having to grieve over a recent loss in your family, and maybe the holidays are going to feel a little off this year. That's like the strongest indication that I'm currently getting, is that you've had to go through quite a bit with losing someone this year, and it doesn't feel like holidays are the same without them. It could even be a pet at this. It doesn't have to be a person, but it could be anything or anyone that you consider family, because on your card we have the 3 of Cups in reverse, so it doesn't feel like to you a time of celebration. It feels almost like a time of grieving. It could also mean, in another sense, there could be either a separation within your family, like there's something that's causing you guys to split off in different directions for the holidays this year, or it could be the opposite. It could be you guys are trying to have a renewal moment. So these are the 3 possibilities. For some reason, the first one that I mentioned of a loss is coming through the strongest. So I think for the majority, it does feel like that's the main theme of this one. But the other possibilities, since this is a general reading as well, there's many different avenues that could go. For the middle ground here, we have the Two of Pentacles. So you are being asked to kind of balance between any negative feelings that you could be holding on to and harboring from what has happened. Kind of balancing out with the new. What is this new chapter that's going to come in, and welcoming it with open arms, because we know that after rough seas have passed, the new calm waters are to come, better days are coming. And so it's kind of like being able to release what has hurt you, to allow what is meant for you to come forth for you. Okay, so I think that is very important for you, is to focus more on what it is that you are gaining in this new chapter, because there is a new chapter coming in, and that you need to be excited and accepting of the positive outcomes with it. And it's okay to have emotions, and it's okay to grieve and hurt, and that's why we have the balancing card. It's saying that it's okay for that to happen, but we must watch what we're focusing on, because you see here we have the affinity symbol, which is also kind of like, as some would say, kind of like the number 8, and the number 8 represents as above so below. So whatever you're thinking about and focusing on and manifesting is going to come back tenfold within your life. It's going to come back even stronger. You're bringing more of it into your life. So if you're throwing out vibrations that are on lower planes, that are more negative, and and of course, like I said, grieving is normal, but if we are really focusing on that more than anything else, then we're going to start noticing like more and more darker times. We won't be able to handle the holidays like that. It's going to feel even worse than it has to. So I think it's kind of having the awareness and the grievances and allowing yourself to feel them, but instead to focus in on more of the positive side, so we can welcome that in quicker, and we can see the blessings that we still have here. For funsies, we're going to have a clarification of the death card here. Alright. We have the Pentacles. Looks like the 8. I mean, it's another 8 card. It's another as above, so below. So, I mean, it's just like you're looking at what is your loss. You're looking at your loss, what you can't have, what is no longer there. You feel like what has been a big part of your life for so many years is no longer there. It's a loss. So that's kind of what the death card is alluding to. Therefore, it really is important that you try and focus on the positive as much as possible during these times. I'm going to pull an oracle card. It's like additional advice. Again, I'm taking the 8 of Pentacles as a watch what you're manifesting card, okay? Alright, additional advice for pile 2 regarding their family. Additional. Alright, so if the world around you seems turbulent, stop. Additional advice for pile 2 regarding your family. Come on, here we go. One spirit guide, one way. Alright, so definitely just take a breather. focus on your spirit guides and connecting with them, knowing that you're not alone, you're being guided and led, and try to just remain that calmness in the storm. Be the eye of the storm, okay? For the next card, we're going to pull a card for society. So it's society around pile 2. Alright, let me... And, I think it's personality. Sorry, make sure I'm reading this right. So yeah, your personality. So what is pile 2's personality? Pile 2's personality. And, what is the balance between them two? Okay. I mean, I feel like this one's pretty straightforward for you guys. I don't even think you guys need advice on this. I think you're very certain of who you are and what you stand for. So I feel like for society, you feel like there's a lot out there that is kind of like a trickery kind of thing. You feel like there's bad influence people. We do kind of tend to lead to our vices when we hurt. We tend to try to numb them. And so I feel like from society, you are kind of feeling that dark kind of energy of people's choices and how it can lead them down the wrong kind of rabbit holes. So that's what gets them in situations with addictions and negative thinking and just honestly just bad habits, like hurting their health and their way of being and their spirit. And there's so many different avenues in life of how we can handle situations and going through emotions. And that's why people, it's so easy to take the wrong path. It's so easy to become tricked and thinking the easy way there must be the right way. Because you see immediate relief, but it doesn't mean in the long term it's going to be the correct solution, right? So I think you are aware and you see that because for your personality, you do love to connect with people and to work with people, but you see more of like, you know what you want, you know what you think, and you're not afraid to say it. So you are very aware that you're what you stand for, and you seem like someone who is more on the traditional side. So I do think that you do tend to want to make the right choices and not fall for any dark rabbit holes or dark ways of thinking. Even though you are, processing a grievance or whatever this negative feeling is with your family as well, I think that even with that, you're still staying level-headed and grounded. Now, the middle ground, we have justice in reverse. So I think that even though you are really good at being honest with yourself of what you feel right and wrong, and you stand by that, that is really good. But you might be a little judgmental towards people, a little bit too judgmental sometimes, I think. And so I think for a balance is to kind of, I would say, lay off of that a little bit. I think that negative kind of energy can be distracting on your journey and for you to improve. So I think it's good to be aware and saying like, that's not something I want to be a part of. That's not something I like this. But it's also just saying like, understanding that people are in different parts of their journey and kind of not looking down on them for where they are any less than. It's more of just saying like, okay, I'm going to let them do their thing because they have to learn on their own, because you can't force someone to learn anything. You can bring it up but then let them be, because they're going to choose what they want to choose. So it's kind of just making sure to take time to focus on what it is that you believe and you want to grow and learn on, and just practice becoming more loved, and just focus your energy on that. And then when the person comes to you and is ready to ask for advice and what they should do, then you'll have even more spiritual growth by that time, that you can sit and help them and be like, yeah, and give them advice and direction. But if you're not focusing on, your growth and your evolution, then it will stunt it, it'll slow it down. And if you're too busy focusing on what other people are doing, it's going to slow you down. And so when they come to you, you won't be as high of a spiritual plane as you could have been. And so that's kind of what these, I think, cards are alluding to. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull an oracle for this. And advice for pile 2. So we have surrender. You're being asked to let go of your need to control each part of your life and surrender to the universe. Control is an illusion, and it's exhausting to try and hold on to it. Let go and allow yourself to enjoy the relief that comes with doing so. So I think it comes back to controlling people's actions and choices, to kind of release that. Okay. I definitely saw on flip. I say that, and then I don't see it. Oh, there it is. Presence. So you're being asked to spend more time in the present moment, to stop ruminating about the past or longing for the future. Your life is happening right now, and when you're not present for it, you will miss all of its beauty. So continue to practice enjoying life as it comes to you, and try not to ruminate too much. Right, and then for the next section, we're going to look at your, I guess it's called your, it's not finances, material. So what is going on with pile 2's materialism? Okay. Piles 2 spiritual. And a middle ground. Okay. Alright, pile 2, I do not think that you are materialistic at all. If anything, I think it's the opposite. You're just like, you're not into it. I think you're very focused on your spirituality, but within that, I think you might be too focused on it, so that you may be stunting on creation. So you have it inside of you. You know your life purpose. You know what you get excited about. But I think you might have some delays in it, and you might push it off. And because you could be honing in on your spiritual growth a little bit too much. And so I think that may need a balance. Your middle card is all about letting your finances grow, letting your endeavors grow, and kind of just enjoying the fruits of your labor. And you're not necessarily spending all of it now. You're indulging in some of it, but most of it you are letting it continue to grow. And how this plays into it is, I think that you should allow yourself time to do things that you love, go towards your goals, and allow yourself to grow them. But at the same time, you can continue your spiritual growth as well. I just think there needs to be a little bit more balance between the two, because I think it seems to be an imbalance of it. And so I think, put some work into what you love, then take a break. And while you're taking that break, allow that time for your spiritual practices, whether that's with meditation, crystal work, or whatever else you do. Just kind of allow that time, prayer, reading, allow that time for you and your spiritual self. Integrate them together, okay? So integrate what you love and what you believe your purpose integrate it with your spiritual side? How can you use that to share more guidance in the spiritual realm with other people? How can you use that to share more love? How can you help people's lives become easier with what you do? And so that can be integrated with what you're studying in your spiritual practices. And for example, I do this with tarot reading all the time. I like to study my spirituality through books as well, and trying to meditate. I say trying to because I need to be better at doing it every day. I usually do it a couple times a week, but and going to different classes and things like that, and all the things that I learn and accumulate, I use for my readings. And so I'm not just like accumulating information and just trying to I try to integrate it within my life, but not just my day-to-day, not just practicing presence and trying to stay calm and enjoy life as it unfolds kind of thing, but it's also going through using it for things that I am passionate about, things that I want to create, things that I want to do to share with people. I want to do tarot readings to help spread advice, to help spread messages that come through, and to help people, and to help find some guidance through different situations in life, and just kind of exploring the different facets of what the cards can say, the deeper meanings. And there's so much still to learn and explore, but it's just part of the excitement of it. It's just integrating what I'm learning on my spiritual plane with what I'm creating, and it just happens to bring in abundance at the same time. And so that's just how life is meant to work. And so I think that just finding that kind of balance to manifest what you're passionate about into your life a little bit more, and allowing it to grow, is what you're being called to do. So you are being called to pay a little bit more attention to the material side, but of course Spirit would never ask you to pay more attention and get greedy about it. Spirit's asking you to invest in it, so that you can take care of yourself and help others at the same time. So I'm going to go ahead and pull a oracle for some advice for materialism and spirituality. Advice for pile 2. Can I have some advice for pile 2? Alright, so criticizing one another will only lead to further unhappiness. Love and accept each other as you are. Your relationship will magically transform. Let there be closeness between you, but always give each other space. Love never claims, and simply allows and gives. I think when it's talking about the closeness between you, let there be closeness between you, I think it's talking in regards to having that closeness with materialism and spirituality, but knowing that love never claims and it allows and gives. So, you never claim. When it comes to materialism, it's not like you own it forever. This is always yours. It's what the universe is providing you to survive, and you're giving it back out to others to help others survive. And so it's finding that little game of tennis, that little balance between the two, and then we have criticizing. You don't want to criticize, it will lead to unhappiness. It's not pushing away one or the other too much, but again, it's magically transforming the relationship that you have with materialism, with money, and with spirituality. It's about transforming that and combining them into one, and realizing that they feed off of each other. And I think it's going to help you grow and create a well-rounded life, and balanced as well. Alright, pile 2, these are all the messages that I have for you. I hope you have a great holiday season this year, and please like and subscribe to support the channel and give me, that's my little Christmas present. Thank you. And remember to stay sentient and stay kind. Bye. Hello, pile 3. If you chose Mrs. Claus and blue calcite, then this is your reading. We're going to start the reading off by taking a look at what is going on with your family life for the holidays, at least, or in general. So what's going on with pile 3's family? What's going on with pile 3's family? What's going on with pile 3's family? Alright. What's going on with pile 3's boundaries? Pile 3's boundaries. What is going on with pile 3's boundaries? Okay. And what is a middle ground between the two? Okay. Alright, so this feels plain and simple. Too plain and simple. So it does feel like you have a very passionate family, pile 3. They have a lot of innovative ideas. They almost seem to be like very encouraging on getting you to do what they feel like is more exciting, or they feel like is the next step for you, or like what they feel like is a great direction and most beneficial for you. But realize that they are trying to help. They don't have any ill will against you, even though it may not be something you're totally interested in, because we see for your boundaries we have the 4 of Cups. So it feels like they're trying to put these ideas in your head of like, you should do this, you should try out this would be awesome if you did. Like, imagine like I would say, for example, like they're trying to invite you out to an event but you're not really interested in it. Like they're just like, hey, I really love knitting, you gotta come do this class with me, you know, and you're just like, you really just know for sure you've tried knitting in the past, it's just not your thing, and you're like, no, and they're like, come on, no, you could be great at it. Or, you know, you're just doing something for fun, like you're creating, let's stick to the crochet, you're creating like these cute little crochet little bubble animals. That's like a thing going on right now, and they're like, oh my gosh, these are amazing, you should start a business doing this, you could sell lots of these and like make a, you know, some money and on Etsy, like sell it on there and whatever. And then you're like, oh, but I don't really, and you know, I'm just doing this for fun, I don't really want to have to do this as a mass production, or like I just don't really feel like making them all the time or whatever, you know what I mean? They're just trying to like encourage like all these crazy ideas on you constantly, and it can be a little overwhelming for you, where you're like, you're just not interested in it, you're like, I'm kind of doing my own thing. And so I think a good balance with that is just, again, just knowing what it is that you are passionate about and that you want to do, just staying true to how you really feel about things. And you know, it's okay to like consider advice and listen to it, but never don't just like, you don't have to feel like you fully have to reject it either because it's coming to you. I think anything that any advice, it feels like, or any ideas that people are presenting to you, you're just automatically like, no, you're automatically pushing them away, not even considering them. And so I think that Spirit's encouraging you to at least take a look at them. Don't just automatically push them away, but you can like explore and think about them, but really, no matter what, at the end of the day, stay true to you. Don't do it because someone suggested it, as you already been doing. You're being encouraged to continue to do that, but maybe being a little bit more open-minded to the ideas, just to play with them, play around with them in your mind a little bit, and don't just completely reject them so quickly. So I think that's pretty much what Spirit is encouraging you to do, because you can create whatever you want for your life. You can create that abundance. You have that creative energy and the imagination and the talent, and I think that you are just a master of knowing what you want to do with your life and what you enjoy doing. And so even if other people are bringing in ideas and passions of new things, no matter what, I think that you already have a good hold of that. And so yeah, just I would say don't get overly too overwhelmed and shut down, and just being a little bit more open to what people have to say. All right, now we're gonna get an extra advice card for this. Yeah, I mean, really just feel like you have a very flamboyant family, so that's kind of fun. We love our extroverted, energetic people. I am not one of them. Alright, so what's some advice for pile 3? Alright, we have all is well. Advice for pile 3 regarding their family and their boundaries. Advice for pile 3. So we have the light and you can lead the way. So yeah, you're already doing this, pile 3. You know it's your own light, you're leading yourself. You know what's best for you. Alright, so for the next little pile, we're going to do society. So we're going to take a look at what is society for you. What's society? Okay. Alright, and what is the personality? What's pile three's personality? Okay. Pull that out. Alright, and then what's a balance between the two? Okay. So it may feel like regarding society that you may feel like there's a lot of greed going on, and it feels like it's something that's never going to change. It feels almost like stuck in this situation, like it's never going to balance itself back out. But pile 3, this is an illusion, okay? With greed, there is people who are giving and are loving, and it will balance itself out. And it's causing you to kind of carry a lot of burdens on your own, or it feels like you are, but you don't have to. You can work with others to kind of help you out and help you be able to do what you need to do in life, whether that is if you need help finding resources, or you need you have too much to do and you need someone to help you get through quicker, or like you need extra hands on this project. You can't, like, imagine if you're doing carpentry and you need to cut wood, but you can't do it by yourself and you have to ask for other people to help. It's kind of like understanding that not everybody is the same, and so it's kind of like having forgiveness for people who have kind of been greedy with you and not really wanted to come out and help and backstab in the past. It's knowing that there are good people out there as well, because life is like that. Life is meant to have balance. It would if there was too much out of balance, then cause and effect wouldn't even be a thing. And there's a reason why cause and effect is a thing. It's like different people are causing their personalities to come out in different ways, and it's affecting the people around them and how they view them. But it isn't like that for everybody. So like not everybody is going to be like a negative cause, I would say. If everything was so negative, there would not be any duality, and so everything would be the same, and nothing is exactly the same in this world. And so it can be maybe the certain people that you've had to interact with in the past were a little bit more greedy and not wanting to help as much, but it doesn't mean you won't find the right people, okay? I think that naturally, if you put yourself in an energy plane in a field around you where you invite people to come in and help, I think that people will show up, and you will be surprised. There'll be some good people who actually want to help and want to contribute. So I think that just allowing yourself to not feel like you have to carry all the burdens of your life on your own, and allowing other people in to help, is going to create a lot of more positive feelings and stress relief from your life. So now we're going to pull a few advice cards regarding this. Alright, so we have grounding. You're being asked to ground yourself. You've been spending too much time in your head. It's time to pay attention to your body and the earth. Go outside and plant your feet on the ground and enjoy centering feeling it brings. I truly do think it's more of like, be an observant and be observant of other people out there, and stop having to come. It's thinking you just might be too trapped in your mind of how you perceive how other people have to be, or how they probably are because of past experiencing. It's more of just being more observant of what is coming along in this present moment. Another advice card for pile 3. Alright, and then we have check in. You think about whatever it is that you're pondering. Take a moment to check in and how you feel about it. Do you feel lighter, heavier, excited, or filled with dread? Pay attention to your inner guidance. It's always so helpful. Alright, so I think that Spirit's advice was saying, like, when you are interacting with new people, or you have new people coming in to help you, check in with how you feel about it. How do you feel like they're interacting? Do they seem like they want to be there and enjoying what they're doing and actually want to help, or does it seem like they have other motives? Or just go with your feelings as you're taking the risk of letting more people in to help you, because it is kind of vulnerable, asking for help and letting people help you. It almost feels like, oh my gosh, they owe me something. I owe them something now, but people shouldn't be going into help to think that way, and you know that as well, but it is a lingering feeling that does come with it, and so that is a vulnerable situation. But through that, even though you're allowing yourself to enter those vulnerable situations, it's about mostly just going with how you feel about how that situation is. How do you feel? Your intuition, what is your intuition telling you about this other person as they're helping you, and kind of let that guide you into knowing, is this someone that you would want to allow in your life to help you again or not, or of course they may ask you to help them. And yeah, I think you'll just know who feels like genuine friends or not. Alright, so for the next card, we're going to look at materialism. So what is pile 3's materialism? Pile 3 materialism. Okay. And what is pile 3's spiritual? Okay. And what is a grounding, like in between for those two? Okay, so it does feel like material-wise that you may not have too much of a connection with anything material, not too attached to it, but at the same time I feel like you may be more, or may not be, sentimental towards your things. And maybe, like, I don't think you are sentimental towards your things, and I think that may be why you're not as attached to materialism. And I bet you didn't even think about it like that, huh? Like, most people think of people being attached to things for greedy reasons, like, oh, I want to own the nicest thing, or but people can also get attached to things because of reminiscing, because of like all the memory they had with their sister when they went to this park and they got the souvenir or whatever. Like, that's another reason why people get attached to things, material. And so yeah, it's interesting looking through a new perspective. And so as you being a person in your spiritual realm, I feel like you are a very loving person, and that you do see other people and life as beautiful, even though you do see society in general as being on the greedier side. I do feel like you are understanding that could be where society is going, but you do understand like the oneness. You do understand the spiritual realm and people's souls being a part of God and a part of heaven. And I feel like you are kind of on that plane of understanding that, but it is kind of looking at a new perspective. I think being the middle ground here is to be open to a new perspective of the balance of the spiritual side with life itself. How are people in the physical realm expressing the spiritual side? And so I think a lot of it is understanding that, like, love is what the spiritual side is, and I think that you understand what love is, and you understand how to love, and you feel that deeply, and kind of understanding that what we build in this life is from love. So the things that we create is a creation of something we love, and things that again could be owned from memories from childhood. It was from loving memories, it was a loving event that brought this item to them. Or like why do people own, let's say someone owns like a fancy car. Well, maybe when they were a child, they had great memories of playing cars with their dad, and they always had like this dream to go to like this race with them, but then their dad passed away before they could go to this big race. And then now the closest thing they could get is the car. And like there's like so much stories behind love that create the materialism. Or it could be like they want to provide for their family, of course, and their kids, and so they're wanting to make sure they make enough money to save up for them to have a better life as them, like the classic story we hear. And so it's kind of like understanding that there is a structure to life that we have to do to be able to survive, and to be able to share love and do what we love, and also just keep love close to our hearts with like memories and things. And so it's kind of like just understanding there's a balance between the two, and there is a structure between the two. And I think that's going to bring a lot less judgment, a lot more, understanding coming from you in that way. Just understanding that everything is through love. Okay. I know it's crazy to think that material is from love. What? I know, like, it is crazy. It is crazy that everything is circled around love. And you just have to, like, find the connections, because it's there. All right? Because I feel like the DNA of life itself is nothing but love. So, all right. So we're going to go ahead and boom, shuffle these cards. We're going to get a advice card for pile 3. An advice card for pile 3. What's some advice for pile 3? So we have power. You instinctively know what is right for you, and you have the power to say no and walk away anytime. It goes back to your 4 cups. You know what's meant for you or not, pile 3. And let's see, next, doing more advice for pile 3. If anything, I think Spirit's complimenting you, not advising you. Some more advice for pile 3. Can I have some advice for pile 3? Advice for pile 3. Alright, and we have freedom. There's nothing stopping you. The path is clear if you want it to be. Alright, so you're just being encouraged to continue to follow your goals and dreams. And as I know you will, because the Spirit is encouraging you to be that King of Wands. So, and that's within everything that you do. And naturally, again, that's going to cause more abundance as you do so. Alright, pile 3, I hope you have a happy holiday season this year. These are all the messages that I have for you. And please like and subscribe if you want to give me a Christmas present. And stay sentient, stay kind. Bye.